Hello and welcome to 16-Bit Rivals with
Hello.
me, Flawed Gamer,
Myself,
my man
Richard.
on the right, Bridges,
Yeah.
And me, Flawed Gamer. No, not really. I'm Y Callum.
and Ryan Callum. Yeah, this is our very first episode, so please bear with us while we stumble over our words, stumble over the announcements, make huge mistakes, but we'll try to keep it flowing, and we will be discussing gaming news topics, and eventually we'll add guests as well to the show. So basically, we are going to go through, give a quick introduction to all of us. So, if I'll start. So, I'm Flawed Gamer, and I'm a variety streamer, and apparently now podcaster. I basically own an Xbox, PlayStation, a PC. It's a bit down at the dumps PC, and my favourite, the Nintendo Switch. And I have been gaming pretty much ever since I can remember. Huge Nintendo guy, but I play everything. Outside of that, I play six-a-side football, which I'm also bored all the time. And I regularly go to the gym to pretend to work out. So, yeah. So, Bridges, if you want to just give us a quick lowdown of the man himself.
Yeah, I'm Ridges. Yeah, pretty much like Flawed. Been gaming since I can remember. Started off playing the NES, which I actually do own. I do own a NES. But yeah, current consoles: PC, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch OLED. Love Nintendo as well. Nintendo is well, you know, it's the kid games, isn't it? You know, it's what you grew up playing, so there's always that nostalgia. So for me, lots of great genres, or should we say, yeah, you know,
Where it all began, almost.
yeah, where it all began,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, other than that, I don't pretend to go to the gym to work out.
You saying you actually work out?
I don't go to the gym.
Oh, no, go to the gym, okay. I don't go to the gym to
This
pretend.
is
That's what you're saying.
this muscle is just natural,
Just
isn't it?
natural, yeah. If anybody's seen Bridges' stream, he has shown his nipples on stream, so go follow him if you like that sort of action.
Look for
What an
the
advert.
look at the
What an
VOD. Look at the VOD.
Yeah. So,
I'm Y Callum. I have a lot less gaming experience than the two men currently above me. I started streaming in February. I do Pokemon. I do Football Manager, that sort of stuff at the moment. I've got most of the consoles that they also said. However, I will be coming in with some hot takes about gaming, because I am quite ill-informed. So I can assure you that you will disagree with most of what I say.
and also, Callum is our sort of litmus test, so essentially he's going to be covered in with just more fresh eyes and a fresh voice. So I think it's quite important, and also a huge dump of entertainment. Not literally a huge dump, but yeah, but with a good dose of entertainment. If you've ever watched any of these guys' streams, you know that they are very entertaining. So we'll basically go through. We'll go through some quick news events of what's happened. I mean, it is gaming season. We don't have E3. For those not familiar with the yearly electronic entertainment expo, but Jeff Keighley, the man behind Summer Game Fest, has just basically tried to take over. So there has been plenty of news, not just from that. So I will quickly go exactly, which is just a bit pants. But the news doesn't stop there. We've had plenty of announcements.
I can give you all a slight highlight. It's like Dead Space in space.
That was the thing. It's like Dead Space. I think I even on stream repeated it at the exact same time as one of the little interviewers was like, we did try to make it like Dead Space, and that was literally the tagline for everything. It's like everybody was asking for Dead Space years and years ago, so everyone went, we'll be the first to make it. But obviously games take years to come out. but everybody's game's ready at the same time. So it's like, crap! Now Dead Space is actually also coming out so close to the guy who made Dead Space other game.
Yeah.
So it is a bit funny like end games. This is why trends. This is why sometimes indie companies they set the trends, and the big companies they take them and run. We obviously know, battle royales are huge now. Who even knew what battle royale was when we were growing up? I didn't. Apart from obviously the mature movies.
Smash Bros. That's battle royale for me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yes. GoldenEye. I mean, we do have some GoldenEye news as well. We'll go for a quick. I'll do a quick reel of quick news, but we won't obviously discuss them all. This is hopefully, like I said, we will streamline this. But anyway, so obviously, at the beginning of the month, we've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailers. We got the Sonic trailers. We had the Sony State of Play. Just today, we had the Microsoft and Bethesda event. We also had the Star Wars Survivor, the Fallen Jedi sequel, announced and teased. We had Dragon Age title announcement, the Dreadwolf. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I was a huge fan of that. That's been delayed again. It's been delayed several times now. Development hell. We also had news of a GoldenEye remake. That was heavily in the rumour reel. That hasn't been revealed yet. We also had Indiana Jones and Darth Vader coming into Fortnite. I mean, what is not going to be in Fortnite? I really don't know. Everything is going to be in Fortnite eventually.
I'm going to be in Fortnite, by the way.
I am calling it. We'll be in Fortnite. Definitely.
I guarantee you, though, streamers will be in Fortnite. Top streamers. 100%. Yeah.
100%.
That'll be the next thing.
We also had some new Nintendo companies. They filed for Nintendo's Studios, one was called, and M Brothers Productions. So I believe, obviously, that could be alluding to future movies, because they do want to expand into movies with the Mario movie, obviously, next year. But they will probably do other movies and productions, or maybe TV series. Is that Legend of Zelda TV series, anyone? I would love that, personally. We also had a leaked email, a leaker, talking about the Nintendo Direct that he believed to be on the 15th of June. Unfortunately, that seems to be debunked after the Summer Game Fest.
That's on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
So he said about a game that he was told, and it was going to be shadow dropped. It was that card game. Can't remember what it's called now, but that was revealed at the Games Fest, which kind of blew that theory out of the window. Not to say there won't be a Nintendo Direct. Everyone's expected one, but it hasn't been announced as of recorded.
Yep.
But we've had Capcom and Square talk about their events coming up this week. Final Fantasy VII is getting a very specific 25th anniversary stream, as it's hitting its 25th anniversary, so everybody's expecting the remake 2 to be there. I hope it is. I have no idea what they're going to be doing with that. So firstly, a lot of news.
I was going to say, that is a lot of news.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of news. And also, guys, I cut that back. There's a lot of news. It's just, this is the thing. We are in our first episode, and it is literally thrown in the deep end. We are in gaming season. This is when the news happens. June is a huge month for games. So this is where it's going to be. But obviously we'll do other bits when we go forward. When there's less news to talk about, we'll talk more topics. So it'll be like, what's our favourite game or favourite childhood memory? What sort of those type of things. We'll go into more topics. But today we'll discuss more news because there's just too much news to discuss. If you guys are happy to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So obviously I've got two big Pokemon streamers with me. I am not the biggest Pokemon streamer. Callum streams the trailer. Uh, these guys, I don't know how much you've spent on Pokemon cards, but probably more than my wages for an entire year, it seems like. Especially when you buy out the redemption and just start opening them. Which one have you got there, Callum?
Oh, just the Charizard.
Just the Charizard.
Just nothing.
Yeah. So one day I will buy a pack just to not feel left out. I've seen Richard's big folder.
Yeah, here we go. I knew he was going to go.
No, I'm not going to do it. No, I won't. No, I won't do it.
So
should we? I've gone out of focus. Should we talk about the trailer then?
Yeah, of course.
So, essentially, yeah. So first of all, we've got obviously the trailer. Oh, Callum's looks like it. There you go.
Sorry, I was out of focus for a second.
So there's so much to discuss on the trailer. So there's obviously the copies, and they revealed obviously the art, the legendaries. There seems to be a future past theme going on, possible rideable legendaries. We've got the age-old discussion of graphics, because every time it's like some people expect it to suddenly be God of War on the next iteration of Pokemon, and then everybody's disappointed when it's just Pokemon. But anyway, so what are we picking up? Do we know what we're picking up yet, or are we waiting?
I'm picking up both. I always do.
I anticipate that. What about you, Callum?
I will buy one of them. I'm not going to yet, but I'm gonna hold fire, see what is on offer. As we get near, it's a long time away, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's nothing sticking out to you. Whichever of the legendaries, are you more the future legendary? I can't remember the names, or the past legendary.
Violet for me. I tend to play the game that most people don't play, so then I can trade and whatnot, and then I'll play the other one after that. Yeah, I like the look of Violet. I usually decide kind of on what Pokemon are game specific. So with most Pokemon games, you get certain ones that can only be in the certain game. The legendary, I'm gonna try and remember it. The legendary from Violet is like Miraidon.
Is the Violet the one that's more futuristic?
And it's Corridon or Corridon, and it's very much futuristic. From the trailer, it's got like jets instead of legs.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks pretty cool. There's that rumor that they're going to be bikes because of the whole chest looking like wheels. I mean,
Adam's on his bike.
I'm all. They do. I mean, I think, like artwork wise, they're different, which is cool. We get a lot of the same.
That seems to be a theme. So obviously, like the professors. Obviously, one's wearing sort of old school clothes, and one's wearing more futuristic clothes. I don't know how.
One's a caveman.
Yeah.
Or cavewoman, sorry.
I don't know how it's going to work in the actual game.
No, I'm not
whether
sure.
it's just going to be just a cosmetic. I assume it's going to be just a cosmetic thing, because it would be too difficult to get it.
Yeah.
It can't be massively different, can it?
No.
It's not like they could have Scarlet being the old one, the old one, and then Violet being the new one. That doesn't make any sense, because then you would need to buy both games.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would be a small thing. I think it'd be. Obviously, people are going to read into it at the moment, because you go off everything that you see within the trailer, don't you? And you try and pick up. I mean, for me, the biggest part of it was the fact it looks more Arceus than I was expecting.
Yeah, very much.
And I think a lot of people who played Legends of Arceus enjoyed Legends of Arceus. You know, me and Ridges absolutely loved that game, and I was really hoping that's the direction they were going to go in. I do think they need elements of the older games still, because they can't just release the same game with new Pokemon, in my opinion, because I think that would get old. But if they do release a game which has, that open world element with the 4-player multiplayer, which is a big thing to add into it, I'm really excited by it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited by it. I think from what I've seen, it looks like exactly the game I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you touched upon graphics before, and we briefly had this discussion in one of our chats.
Yeah, we did.
I am very much team it should be better. I'm not asking for God of War. I'm not asking for God of War because that is unrealistic.
Yeah.
But it just looks to me at the moment like there's a slight lack of care for basics. I think the actual Pokemon themselves are usually well made, but like Arceus is a pretty game until you look deep into it. That's my worry.
So yeah, Arceus is also another game. It looks good on the small screen. It's when you blow it up to a big screen, you can obviously see all the little bits. But the thing with, I think I obviously mentioned as well, is with Pokemon's very regimented. You can't delay a Pokemon game. Everything that you've got, your cards, you've got your animes, everything needs to release when it needs to release. They also have a distinct, like, I've never known a company so big have so little experience. Well, obviously it's just the way, because they're handheld based. They've got so little experience in 3D graphics. So although they could go out and say, tell you what, let's throw money at the best 3D graphics engineer, they're not going to have the time. I'm no developer, so if the developer's watching and you want to correct me on that, they're not going to have the time to create really realised words, and it's just a little bit. When everybody's making super duper realistic graphics, we'll get a really good Pokemon looking game.
Again, though, it's a Switch game.
Yeah. It's already on aged hardware, which is what I think you're referring to. So,
Breath of the Wild looks better than it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild looks better than it, and that was from you. So it's not a fair excuse.
It's not exactly. That's what I was going to say. Not only does Breath of the Wild look better than it, Breath of the Wild, and but again, it is a fair excuse in some ways and not. In one way, it's not a fair excuse because Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, like even older hardware, looks better than it. Because remember, Breath of the Wild is obviously a cross-platform play. However, it also had a very long development life. They developed it over a long period of time. They did delay it several times, and they obviously have a more experienced team. And also, a lot of the first-party Nintendo teams know how to get the best out of their equipment. You see games that look really good despite not being on the thing, and then you might get a game.
I also think for the Wii U, I know it had a handheld device, but it wasn't portable like the Switch, so it was mainly for it at home playing. So they have designed it to be like that, whereas Pokemon notoriously is very much a hands-on play and you go type game,
exactly,
and people do that. So have fun. We've this is the only generation really where you've been able to play on your console, unless you had the Super Nintendo. You can put the Game Boy cartridge and you could play it, where you could dock it and play it, and you could still trade with the internet and whatnot on your TV. And I think they still try and keep that bit of nostalgia, which is why the graphics are slightly different. Again, power as well. I get I don't know if you play Breath of the Wild on the Switch. It lasts like 2 hours even on the new ones because it's so draining.
It is draining, and it'll be interesting to see what the new ones like. They definitely need a refresh, but only for real, like, because at the end of the day, it's still selling like anything.
That was what I was going to say. Do you not think it's laziness? It's because they know, because it's a Pokemon game, people will buy it.
Yeah, I mean, they do know that.
So why would you spend millions and millions of pounds on making it look amazing when 2 Pokemon fans here right now going, yeah, we're really excited about it. Even though I'm sat here saying, I don't think it looks good enough, I'm still going to buy it.
Exactly. I don't think it looks good enough. And we've got also one that said, I'm going to buy both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I would make parallels with. Sorry, Ridges. I'd make parallels with a game like FIFA, because that is a game I play, and they churn it out every single year, and every year they make very minimal changes to it, and every year people buy it. Every single year, and so I think Pokemon is probably bigger. FIFA is a big sports game, but as a brand, it's absolutely gigantic. I don't understand, because like when you were saying before about how Zelda have got these bigger teams, why have Pokemon not got a bigger team? Like, it's an absolute gigantic franchise. Like, get a bigger team. Get a bigger team. Surely it's not that hard. If you work into those time frames, get a bigger team. Like, if it was a normal Cincinnati, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm a fool, and I'll still spend my money in November. But I want it to change.
I like to think of it more like, Gary Game Designer. We'll call him Gary Game Designer. we love Gary Game Designer, but he's not very good at designing games. But we're just going to keep him on until he retires, and then we'll get someone new in.
I think, like you say, as long as you tick off the story, new Pokemon, gyms, and then they tend to add something slightly different each time.
Yeah.
It makes it's not the same game. It's newer, as long as you can keep adding stuff, it's always going to be different. And then as long as if you can bring in the nostalgia of Pokemon Home, now of transferring other Pokemon and whatnot, then people are going to keep playing them because they'll bring over, as long as you can do that. Whereas I couldn't do with Sword and Shield, you could only first you couldn't do any, and then they've transferred a few when the DLC came out. So I mean, you still can't trade over a lot of them. So that was a big kick-off with the last with Sword and Shield, wasn't it? With the whole Dex Lock, as they called it.
Exactly.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. Graphic-wise, I think it looks better than most of them they've done. More than they all. It seems to be.
They are improving, and I think the EA Sports titles are at the comparison, because they are very similar in that terms. The iterations, they've got to come out every year. You can't even though obviously the FIFA license up in the air now, we're going to have
gone, isn't it?
FIFA games actually. So EA Sports, that's another little. I mean, we could segue quickly into that, but that's not on the document. But it's a weird one. EA Sports, or when FIFA finally create their game, surely that's going to fail. Surely.
Yeah, it will do. Because, I mean, EA Sports FC, I think, is what they're calling it, which is a terrible name. They are just going to release FIFA again. So it's going to be the same game, but the only thing they haven't got is the licensing for the World Cup.
Exactly.
Just the World Cup, though. That's it.
No, I think they've lost a few other licenses, have they not?
No, from what I heard, like Champions League, Europa League, they've got all of that. They've got the Premier League, everything. All the main divisions. It's just because the World Cup is the FIFA World Cup, so they lose that.
Exactly. Yeah, so
It's nominal what they lose. They'll just release the same game, and then FIFA will try and create this other game. I'd love it to be better.
I just feel like I don't know. So the mainstream, like,
who's going to do it though? The only team I can think of they're going to do it is 2K.
I think FIFA, but I don't know whether they pay the license. So I just think FIFA making the games easy. Yeah. So we just get anyone to do it, and it's going to be.
I can see that. I can see their point in wanting more money, because Ultimate Team generates so much money. I mean, you see people spending 10 grand a season. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't get it. But that's shocking.
So this is it. So but that's going to be an interesting discussion when they finally release a game. But I think in terms of I just still see people buying FIFA without the knowledge of. I follow gaming news and all that stuff, so it's sort of in my realm to know. But I'm sure people are going to just pick up, someone just picking up for their son or whatever. The new FIFA game.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And he's going to go, what the hell, man?
Because although the EA Sports in the game is very notorious, people still call it FIFA. It's always FIFA.
Yeah.
It's FIFA. Let's go play FIFA. No, I'm going to say let's go play EA FIFA. Yeah, it's never.
You literally took the words from my mouth, Floor, because that is exactly what happened at Christmas. A mum will go into game and say, "My son wants FIFA. Can I get FIFA?" And unless that person behind the desk is kind and goes, "You do know it's EA Sports FC. You don't want this FIFA one because it's rubbish." Then more. You're going to go, yeah, sure, there you go. That's 70 quid, thank you very much.
Exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't be too bothered if it turned up and they were like, oh, yeah, here you go, I brought you this. That could be better than FIFA's football, to be fair.
Of course you've got that.
That's good. It's a fun game, I have played that. Usually, that's why I would have started the stream off with what we've been playing this week. But
I've played it.
So, to wrap up the Pokemon news, I'm not the biggest Pokemon player. I played Arceus and enjoyed it, but didn't complete it. I thought it was going to be the first Pokemon I completed since the earlier ones. that I would complete, and I am going to go back to, I believe. Richards, you're going to get both of them, and you're undecided, Callum, on which one you're going to get. You just want a bit more information.
Yeah, I think so.
So, we're all definitely going to pick it up, because I'm going to pick up as well. I just don't know which one. So, yeah.
4-player co-op.
Yep. So that's the big reason. I'll be honest. That's one of the biggest reasons why I will pick it up, because just playing with you guys would be fun. I just have to be like the noob.
Someone's got to be.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to. You know.
Finally, I'm not the noob.
No, exactly. Yes. This will be one where you have infinite more knowledge than I have. So when we get to the discussions on gameplay and whatever, I reckon we're going to be so big by then they'll be giving us gaming codes.
Oh, we will. Yeah, we'll get it for free by then.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so the next trailer we got was the Sonic trailer, which actually came in 2 parts. We got an exploration trailer and a combat trailer. Sonic hasn't been great.
No. I mean, anytime they try to change it from its original format, other than Adventures 1 and 2, it's been hit and miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
I liked Sonic Mania. I thought it was really good. I'm quite looking forward to the Sonic Origins that's coming out.
Yep.
Because again, it's very much I think you can't, like, it's not broken. I mean, they've got to try and figure out a way of, because side-scroll platforms and things, you know, the current generation don't like it. I love them. I love them. They are my favourite things. I will play platform games, side-scrolling all day. Love it.
Me too. And I would like to see them do, and I would like this in Mario as well. I would like a really completely fresh art style that evokes nostalgia from the old games, plays like them, but it's different, if you know what I mean. It's modernised. It's brought to. Sonic Mania was great, so it was like a mix of new and old.
Yeah.
Something like that, but almost all fresh and like, I don't know, but same with Mario, like a 2D Mario adventure of the like.
Yeah.
But what did you think to? I mean, I think we've already sort of alluded to it, but to the gameplay shown.
Not really. I don't know. I think I'd need to. I mean, at the moment I'm sort of not impressed as much as I thought. Well, I love Sonic. It's quite disappointing, really. I would like them to release a demo. It doesn't have to be that long. Just the one level, just so you get a grip at it. Because I probably won't buy it unless I get to play it beforehand.
I will wait on the reviews, I think. Did you see it, Callum? Did you see the?
So a little bit, yeah. I'm not a Sonic player, so I don't feel like I should be able to comment on it too much. However, I do think it's outdated now. I think as a concept, like when you look at something like Mario, where he can go into like the 3D world and, you know, do more of an open world thing and go. I don't know. I wouldn't ever want to buy a Sonic game. Like it's not something that I have nostalgia for, and so for that reason, it's not something that I'll suddenly go, you know what, I'm gonna get into Sonic now, because it's just a hedgehog who's really fast. Like I don't really see how that's that fun to play. Like I listened to another podcast talking about it, and they sort of said, where do you go from here with Sonic? Like, what do you do with it? And like one of the things they said was, you know, if he's going to be really fast, it's just not that fun. So could you slow everyone down and make it, you know, he is going. But if someone's going a million miles an hour, like, there's real limitations to that as a game now, I think.
Also, like, I mean, to be fair, but if we were playing to devil's advocate, IGN revealed a preview where they did say it was fun, and they did give it a lot of positive praise. Which was surprising after. I know they're obviously covering it in their IGN first, so, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have to give it praise. But it was awkward. The marketing's been terrible for it. People are tearing it apart. The combat looked awful. The slow parts, like you said, Callum, what did you do? Slow him down? But when he was slowed down, he just looked awkward as hell.
Yeah.
Awkwardly, but we know Sonic to be fast, they've added a speedometer as well to the game, apparently. But it's just off. 3D Sonic. I haven't had a decent 3D Sonic in what I can remember. They certainly rate very low on, critically they rate low. They don't sell fantastic.
Adventures one was good though. I thought.
Adventures people harken to Adventures, exactly, but that was so long ago.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming, I was going to ask the question, do you think they can finally release a highly critically rated 3D Sonic game this year? No, both shaking your head no, and I agree. I don't think. I will think it. I reckon it's going to be sort of, if we Metacritic it, I think it would. I think it would be in the early 70s. Like,
tell you what though, what
I was giving it a 4 out of 10, but yeah, about 40.
So you're saying 40s, yeah.
But like, what a shame, because Sonic stock is so high with the film at the moment. You know, like if you're gonna get new fans into a game franchise, it would be now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and they're looking like they're going to miss that opportunity if it is, unless they alter it quite a bit, which they did with the film. They had the terrible Sonic, and then they changed that completely, didn't they? So who knows? Who knows? They might go off it by that.
Ugly Sonic.
Sonic, yeah.
Ugly Sonic.
If you watch the
if they don't make Ugly Sonic a skin for this game,
they should. They absolutely should. I mean, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But they even had the Sonic Central, didn't they? The event that they held, which was, I mean, quite frankly, worthless. It was almost like just buy some Sonic merchandise and here's some games.
Yeah.
And also, Sonic's in Fall Guys. I think he's already been in Fall Guys for however long. But let's just remind you he's in Fall Guys. Sonic. Nothing interesting. Let's move on. But yeah, so anyway, I think it's almost the opposite of
Sonic in Fortnite. That's they haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah, it's come full circle.
Yeah,
Love it.
It's gone full circle, basically. Yeah. We've only Fortnite players here. We talk about Fortnite. I mean, they're having Darth Vader and Indiana Jones in the game.
They got the Star Wars event on it now because you can be Obi-Wan. I think.
Yes.
My nephews play it, but no, not for me really. So
Yeah,
when it first came out, I played it, but nah.
I have played it. I'm not the biggest Fortnite player, but I am in awe of it. The fact they put on concerts in the game. They have these big events. It's just a phenomenon, really.
Yeah.
There was one on last Saturday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of like, it's just it's an incredible phenomenon that I don't think it will ever. I don't know when it will stop. It's just going on forever.
No.
And it's always good. It always will if they can keep it fresh with these events and adding these characters from pop culture and whatever. So
this isn't skins as this.
It's money. I mean, they took. Basically, they developed the perfect model with Fortnite. Yeah. Free to play and everything. Sort of, nobody's been able to really replicate it, but everybody wants to try it, which is why they're so heavy in microtransactions and that sort of stuff. People can replicate to a certain effect, but they'll never do the Fortnite model as well as Fortnite have done. So that's sort of a quick lowdown on those. We'll talk about quickly. I mean, there's nothing really. So basically, the other news is just sort of the Star Wars Survivor teams. Obviously, with the Star Wars event, did you guys play Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
You didn't finish it.
No.
Did you? Is that because you didn't enjoy it, or?
I can't remember, if I'm honest.
I
remember.
Did you play it as well?
I think something else came out.
Yeah.
I think I was playing something else. That's why I put it down.
That sounds like Regis. Yeah, he's halfway through playing a game, and then 3 new games arrived. So
For me, I'm like, I don't know, if I'm really enjoying it, I'll like focus on it and just play it. But if it's a bit like, I mean, to start off with, it is kind of like you're searching around, you're doing little bits and bobs, and you kind of like, there's not really much direction to start off with. And I got a bit further on it, and then I can't remember what came out at the same time.
Don't know.
What year did it come out?
I don't know, a couple of years ago now.
2020?
Yeah.
No, it's older than that, isn't it? 2018 maybe.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
I played it and I completed it. I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
thought it was a really good game. I mean, I think visually it was very impressive.
Yeah.
Especially the start of the game, genuinely felt like I was playing a Star Wars film.
Yes. And the actor who plays the cat, he's a good actor. I've seen
Yeah.
him in a few things.
I
And
wasn't-
I thought
I wasn't keen on the character,
Oh,
to be honest.
no? Ah, there you
Yeah.
go. So I think it's Cal, is it? Is it
Yeah, Cal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I thought the characters in it were really good. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought as a game it was really good, and it's been updated for PS5, hasn't it? And it's one that I have downloaded to play again because, yeah, I thought it was really good.
I mean, the ending was fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, the ending was fantastic.
Yeah, the ending was really good.
So
Very, very tricky.
yeah. So basically, so the final news I think we'll sort of discuss before we go into a quick sort of topic discussion. There's obviously all of these events.
Mhm.
So we've had the PlayStation State of Play. We've had the Bethesda Microsoft, which was earlier today as a recording. We do have more coming up. We've got the Capcom, we've got the Square, we've got the Final Fantasy VII. We had the Sonic thingy. What do we think? Have we watched them all for a start?
Yeah, well, I watched. I think I've watched you watch State of Play and the Bethesda one.
I missed the Bethesda one today. I haven't
You
seen
missed
it
the
yet.
Bethesda one.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
Bethesda one was better.
The
I
Bethesda
think.
one was better. So we could discuss that. We could discuss. So what stood out to you? So for the State of Play was a lot shorter, a lot better run, I think, than either the Summer Games Fest, which I believe was one of the most. I can't believe I didn't fall asleep during Summer
It
Games
was
Fest.
awful.
We're going to
It's
talk
just
about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Even like, I look at the gameplay and I think, yep, that's Call of Duty. Move on. And then another 12 minutes later, we're still, yep, that's still Call of Duty. Like, you know what to expect at this stage. It's like, we don't need 15 minutes of Call of Duty, Jeff. I know, obviously, money's changes hands, but I don't know. No, but maybe you guys might disagree. I don't know anybody who would watch a Call of Duty gameplay review and think, I'm going to now play Call of Duty, who wasn't already convinced.
The only thing I would say is Vanguard did not sell well at all.
No.
So maybe they are worried because they did such little advertising for Vanguard. Because I think they were like, everyone's playing Warzone, so everyone's going to buy this game. Obviously, we don't need to do anything for it. And it flopped. Now, when it's a Call of Duty flop, it was still like the second best selling game in this country when it came out. But it didn't hit the numbers that a Call of Duty game hits. So I wonder whether they're a little bit worried. They're like, we need to get people back into this now, so we're going to go for Modern Warfare 2 because everyone loved Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
And here you go. Look, do you remember the stuff you used to like? It's still here. It's still here. Come and play this. You know, the pew pew. Yeah, you love that. Come on, come and do the pew pew.
The thing is, they've already released. Was it Modern Warfare they released on PlayStation?
Yeah.
The remaster.
Yeah.
I thought Modern Warfare 2 was remastered. I might be mistaken.
So I do, but I have played a bit of Call of Duty in my time, but I am not a big Call of Duty player. But
I started off as a Call of Duty streamer.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did start off as a Call of Duty streamer, but I did stream Call of Duty. But it's just, to me, the whole setup of Summer Games Fest. So we're not talking about PlayStation State of Play. PlayStation State of Play was really, I thought it was really good. There wasn't a whole lot that interested me in it. You've got the Callisto Protocol, which is like Dead Space. That looks good. That was also at Summer Games Fest with an extended gameplay.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 might actually make me play a Street Fighter game. That looks great. I'll be honest. I'm not a fighting fan. I used to play Street Fighter when I was younger. I haven't played Street Fighter 5 or 4.
I used to play a lot of Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES.
Yeah. Street Fighter 2, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So this
Everyone
one
played that.
really good. This one, to me, I like the art style. I like the direction they're going in it. There seems to be some more sort of exploration thing. So again, but we've seen that a couple of times now at the events. But State of Play moved at a pace where even it didn't really have much of a lull. The
Resident
both the
4?
Microsoft Bethesda event and the Summer Games Fest, particularly the Summer Games Fest, where they just wanted to talk, and there was adverts in between. There was the awkward thing with The Rock, where it was like, "Hey, I'm in my gym with my top off. Here's a drink that I'm promoting. Yep, there you go. Like, here we go. G Fuel." Someone transcribed it apparently on, and none of it what he said made any sense. It was really awkward and like, yeah, just the whole thing was just. There was some good stuff at Summer Games Fest. Don't get me wrong. The event, there was some good stuff, but it was just drowning in nonsense. And I'm tired. I don't know about you. I'm tired of hearing people talk about their games. I heard them talk about Cyberpunk for years. What felt like years and years and years, and half the stuff they were talking about didn't even end up in the game. Don't talk about it. Show me it.
Yeah.
I think I'm quite a casual gamer, so I'm not to the level of you two where you will evaluate the state of play. There was absolutely nothing I want to play, not a single game. Like there wasn't one, and as a PlayStation owner, that was really disappointing. The fact there was nothing, and I know there will be games released throughout, but I look forward to state of play. So it's like I've got a big console that I spent a lot of money on downstairs.
Did they not Did they not announce the game I've just been playing? Tunic was announced for PlayStation, was it not? State of Play?
Yeah, it was.
It was?
announced for PlayStation
Yeah.
at the
That's
time.
madness.
Yeah, I mean it's on Game Pass, but
Yeah.
that's a great game.
But then having now, sorry, I'm like naturally transitioning in. Cut me back if I'm doing it wrong. But transitioning into the one today. So as a PlayStation owner, not an Xbox owner, I spent the whole time saying to Flawed, well, do I get an Xbox Series S? Because this Games Pass is a little bit good. And like we say, the amount of games that were on Games Pass, it was ridiculous. Like you would almost say 75% of the games that they showed, maybe more, every single time it said available day one on Games Pass. And I just think, as the console war, yes, PlayStation have had some big releases, and people would argue if when God of War comes out, that may knock everyone out of the park, but.
But it's only going to do it for so long, because as soon as people finish the game, that's it.
See, the thing is, right? So Game Pass, it hasn't. It's been. I haven't really picked it up for a while. Obviously, Richard, you played Tunic, but there's been a lot of nothing with Game Pass. The problem is Microsoft have invested a whole lot of money in a whole lot of companies. There's so much going on. We saw the event. We just obviously to update you on the event today was focused only on games coming in the next 12 months, right? If you play just 3 of those games, you've essentially got your money's worth for a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
This year, currently that we've just gone, I wouldn't say if you subscribe to a whole year that you've got your money's worth. But there's some. Absolutely, it depends. It depends how you play it, obviously, because there's still a lot on there.
Yeah, but you chuck Floyd. You chuck the likes of Halo.
Yeah.
I'm not a Halo player, but Halo coming on their day one, that is that's a £70 game straight away. That's there. The Forza Horizon, although once again I'm not a driving gamer, but from all intents and purposes was an excellent driving game. Those two alone. That's 2 games that if you bought them on the PlayStation, it would have cost you 140 quid.
That's it. I mean,
that's the difference.
To be fair, I did say that, but looking back on the last 12 months, obviously, doesn't include a calendar year, but you had Psychonauts, Halo, you had obviously Forza Horizon, you had Flight Simulator. You do have lots coming, but there's
Halo Infinite,
the massive gaps. Halo Infinite. And obviously you had EA on there, you had all the old games, and there is a lot on there.
You got the EA library, so Jedi Fallen Order is on there. So is most of the FIFAs. You've got the remastered version of God, it's going to come straight in my head now. Mass Effect.
Oh, close.
God of War.
You do have plenty of. There is plenty of. But I think my point that I was trying to make was
Back for Blood was on there. Back for Blood is a good
Back 4
game.
Blood, yeah. There's a lot that I've played, and I've only dabbled in maybe an hour or two, and then decided it's not for me. That's a lot better than spending 50, 60 quid, 70 quid in some instances and going, actually, this isn't for me.
Yep.
But the point I was trying to make is they've invested a lot. Eventually, they're going to get to a point where they can release a heavy hitter every month or every other month. When these things come out, they've got they've got your Starfield and your Redfall and your Indiana Jones and like all of this stuff that they is not quite ready. Your Perfect Dark. When these start coming into in the cycle, eventually you're going to have a year of big hitters, and that's going to be like I struggle to see how they're not going to put the price up at that stage.
Well, I don't know if they again. There's that. It's. I don't know if they can put it up much more. People would probably start.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But is it $10.99 a month, and that's the full PC version as well. So you get your online gaming and the access. So I mean, Football Manager is on there for your PC. So I downloaded Jurassic Park Evolution 2, Jurassic World. Sorry. Again, a PC-based game. I don't like playing it on a console because it's a keyboard and mouse game. But it's something I dabble in. Bit of fun, there's so much. The announcement of the deal with Samsung for the Samsung 2022 smart TVs that come built in with Game Pass, so you can now connect a controller through Bluetooth and play Game Pass on your TV without console.
This is where they want to be, isn't it? Basically, they want to be in everything. They don't want you to.
Yeah, I always thought they would have introduced a sort of deal, a bit like the Amazon Fire Stick. It would be a Game Pass stick that came combined in a box with a controller, because you still have to buy a controller. So what cost? I don't know, 100 quid. I don't know, whatever it is.
I still think they will do that.
And you can plug it into any TV, and it makes it.
But then, what was Google's attempt at that?
The Chrome.
Yeah, wasn't that what that?
No, well, it was more of you to cast.
Stadia where
Stadia.
Stadia.
Stadia was a huge flop.
But is that not what you're describing? You plug into a TV.
And the things with Google Stadia, they didn't have the infrastructure around it. Microsoft do, and also they didn't have the backing of the games. They were ridiculously priced. There was a lot wrong with the actual premise behind it. The systems they had, like the actual streaming, was good quality, but it's just everything around it, and they've basically given up on it now.
So with Game Pass, Cal, you can most of it's cloud based. Not every game that's on Game Pass is cloud based, but you can any cloud based game you can pretty much pick up and play wherever you've got signal. So that's why they put it on a TV. So it's all cloud based. It's using using your internet.
Okay.
But I wonder if I can do it now. So I can go onto my phone and I can go cloud gaming.
Yeah. See it straight on.
And then I can play. Yeah. So recently added Levis cloud gaming. I don't know. I can play Forza Horizon 5. Yeah. It's gonna load up. I need to sign in, but you can click that and I can play on my phone. Some games you can connect a control. Well, you can connect a control to all of them, but some games the buttons come up like when you're playing a mobile game. But like racing games are easy like that. But and as long as you've got a good internet signal, you can do it anywhere. And it's just groundbreaking. And also because you're logged in, you can carry on with your saves from your console.
Right. Okay.
Because you're connected, so your cloud saves load up, so you can go. Oh, do you know what? I've got a really good signal. I've got nothing to do. I'm going to carry on playing my Forza race. Yeah. I'm going to play a bit of Halo. Stuff like that, So it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I do think it will be everywhere, and they do want it on. They do want it on. Basically, they would have it on the PlayStation and the Nintendo 100%. But for a quick, I suppose. So PlayStation State of Play, for me, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
I used to love Resident Evil 4, so a remake, I'm happy to replay it in a love that. Final Fantasy, love some of the Final Fantasies, not all of them. 16 looks interesting. I will definitely just keep my ears to the ground with that, and I'm looking forward to that.
Which one was that?
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, 16, yeah, sorry. I just,
Yeah.
What else? I'm just looking. So.
There was Stray, which.
Stray looks a bit strange, but.
It looks a bit strange, but I'm up for playing as a cat. And it's going to be, I think, a PS Plus game, which I do have PS Plus at the moment, so I'm happy to pick up and try it at least. Looks interesting.
Horizon Call the Mountain?
Yes, they had a lot of VR in the State of Play.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, what's your experience with VR?
I had the PSVR.
Yeah, and did you play much of it?
Not really. At the time, it was very limited. I have an Oculus, which you do play. But again, it's like one of them luxury things. You can't play it for too long.
Yeah.
It's not. It makes you feel.
Well, see, their new VR is going to be high end. I think you can tell that on sort of things. So it's interesting to see how priced they're going to sell it. Would you guys play it? First of all, would you buy it? No,
probably not. Not with having an Oculus.
No. So I will potentially buy it and I will potentially stream it. It does depend on price point. I think this is going to be looking at between £400 and £500. I think.
Yeah, but the original PSVR was around that anyway.
The original one was, but this one's high end. Plus, it's going to have controllers. I don't think the original PSVR come with controllers.
No,
but I would see this creeping up to £600.
You had to buy the PlayStation 3 ones, which were a nightmare, and I think they still are a nightmare to purchase anyway. You can't get them anywhere.
So £200 to £300 would be possibly a first. I'd purchase it immediately, maybe.
I think it'll be 400 to 600.
I think I'm thinking it's going to be 400 to 600. I wouldn't be surprised to see the higher back end at 600 on that. I don't know if it can do well at that price. It's going to be priced out of the market at that point. But yeah, so obviously those things. You didn't watch State of Play. The Bethesda event, Ridges. But
No.
there was quite a few games there. The big one was obviously Starfield. Me and
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, and apparently No Man's Sky is trending after that. So they weren't the only ones to make those comparisons.
Oh, does it look
The
like
same game, Ridges. It's the same game.
They opened in like a few minutes. You could have, like, if you'd have just walked in and not got the context, you'd have been like, "Oh, No Man's Sky's getting an update." It was that, like.
Is that really what? Is that what Starfield is? What it looks like?
No, the beginning part, like literally, like it was walking around, with the laser, like doing resource stuff like that. They showed how massive the game is. They showed like big cities. They did talk about like there's going to be barren planets where you can resource, which to me, I don't know if that excites me. I'm excited by the prospect of the game. I don't know whether it will fall on its ambition. That's all I'm saying.
But why do we want barren planets?
I don't know.
In what world do we want? Like, open worlds are becoming older news as well.
Yeah.
Now. I think they've been exhausted. So the last thing I want is a big planet with nothing on it. Give me some characters to talk to. Give me some city. I'm not saying it needs to be like hustling and bustling cities, but you need, I don't know, it says to me that it's going to lack direction, which is why No Man's Sky failed, because you just didn't know and it'll definitely have more story than that, obviously, of course it will, but I don't know, didn't do anything for me, I'll be honest.
I would say, I do think this will be like, I do quite like checking the reactions and everything. I would say that what I'm going to say next is probably going to be against the grain, because I am actually less excited for the game now that it's been revealed. The more they spoke about it, the less interested I'm in it. And it was all the, like, I get it. We love big big games, like, oh, look at this massive open world, look at this massive place. But it was more like, oh, you can go here, and then you can travel over here. You're going to go visit these barren wastelands of planets to resource. Like, so I can see a lot of going into lasering this Mogolorite, or whatever we would call it, to make this thing. Some parts of it, don't get me wrong, look great. I would definitely pick up. It's on Game Pass. Why would I not give it a try?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I am looking forward to it in that respect.
Would you buy it though? Flawed. If it wasn't on Games Pass, would you buy it?
I will tell you, I am a bit of a sucker, so I would wait for the reviews. If it scored a 9+, I would buy it just to see what the fuss is about. But anything below, I know 8's a good game, I know 7's a good game, and I know it's just opinion, but I still would like an informed opinion, and I still do think, you know, game journalism is there for a reason. This is why Game Pass is so good. You don't need an informed opinion. Just go play it and
Make your own opinion.
Yeah. But they basically showed. Just to update visuals, they showed quite a few games. They showed Hollow Knight Silksong, which we all thought was going to be a Nintendo.
What was that? Sorry.
Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look now.
So everybody thought that was going to be in a Nintendo Direct. That was actually on. That was rumored. So it was actually on my what do you call it? My bingo card. Yeah. So I did get that one. I did call that one. Also had GoldenEye had his achievements done. So it looks like that's coming to Nintendo Online and Xbox at some stage. That was rumoured, but that didn't show up. I still do believe that is coming. But they did have quite a lot. Forza Motorsport was there. Obviously, that looks great. A Plague Tale, the sequel, The Queen, that looks fantastic. I love the first one. Really looking forward to the next one. They had a bunch of like Overwatch 2, Arc 2. They had Arc 2. That was on. I should have put that on there. They had Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon 5.
They did that with the previous ones, and they did a Lego one as well.
Ben Diesel showed up for some reason. Minecraft creators, they had a new game.
High on Life?
What was that?
High on Life?
High on Life looks good.
Yeah.
I like
Yes,
that.
it did. Yeah,
Yes,
that
High
did
on
look
Life
good.
Yeah. They had Diablo 4. Cocoon from the people who've done Inside and Limbo. I didn't like the look of that game, but I love Inside and I love Limbo, so I'm definitely willing to give that a try. Hideo Kojima was there, which I predicted. To say I'm working with Xbox. My game will be coming out in the year 2035, probably.
20 never.
Yeah, 20 never. So fantastic. That's just confirmation, something to look forward to in the future. So they did have some good stuff. The pacing wasn't great, I'll be honest. Again, it was a lot of but the big one was, and I had Redfall as well, obviously. I say the big games for me were Starfield, just because it's a big game, so the interest. Hollow Knight was great, so I'm really looking forward to the obviously that coming out in the next 12 months is obviously what they said. There wasn't any real release dates, which I noticed. These are coming to the next 12 months, but there wasn't any real release dates.
Yeah.
So was Hideo Kojima announcing a game we know is not going to be in the next 12 months? But yeah, so
they announced the dates for the Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online updates.
The DLC stuff, they were announcing a lot of dates. There was a lot of DLC there, which is, if I'd have had on my bingo card, I'd have smashed it. But yeah, so
they announced a date for Overwatch 2, October 4th.
The few of the sort of the betas they've had as well. They
grinded
did that. But yeah. So obviously we've had Sony, we've had Microsoft go. The one standout is Nintendo. Where are they?
Well, they didn't do one last year, did they?
They did do one last week. Yeah.
It was a bit later, though, wasn't it?
It was E3, wasn't it? Because E3 was
this
digital event. They usually announce it way in advance with E3. They announce it way in advance. Obviously, there's no E3 now. So there's no need to do it in advance. Sometimes they just give you 2 days notice. There's Nintendo Direct coming.
Maybe
I
we'll
don't
get news
know.
tomorrow.
With more than anything, Nintendo doesn't need a show, and I'll tell you why I think that is. I think they've already shown enough
Hmm.
this year. They've always got Pokemon, they've got Xenoblade, they've got Advance Wars as well, they've got Fire Emblem, they've also had Mario Strikers just released. They have got a steady stream of games throughout the year that they've already announced. Bayonetta 3 is obviously still due to come out this year. They don't need one in June. It's just expected that they'll have one because they always have. But Nintendo being Nintendo might just think, oh, there's no E3. That's on it. They are quite a funny company which like to just sometimes just go against the trends. But do we A, think there'll be one this month? And B, want one, I guess?
I think, well, like I say, I think they might do something. I just don't, like you say, we're waiting on stuff, aren't we? So, like, dates and things, they haven't really announced a date. Well, they did Pokemon, but that was just, Pokemon always has a separate date. Obviously delayed Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah. But I would like to, I would love to see a direct, just because, I mean, it's just something to talk about at the end of the day. But I would like to see a Breath of the Wild title. That's the big. Like they could show anything in the next Nintendo Direct. I wouldn't care. I would literally be waiting for that one Breath of the Wild trailer, which I don't believe we'll get, even if they do a June Direct, with the title underneath, and that's it. And then I'll be happy.
Because they haven't given a date yet for Sparks of Hope either, have they?
No,
Yeah, so
no, and that's another one that needs to be given a date or delayed. So again, they can have one. They're expected to have one, and then people are expected to have one. So yeah, I guess they don't need one, but I want one.
Yeah.
They did an indie one, didn't they?
Yes.
They did an indie. Yes, they did an indie one, which everyone slated. And
Yeah, it's a rubbish.
I mean, indie. The thing with indie is you're going to get some really weird announcements. It's really difficult to predict an indie event. But I do think it's a necessary platform to do. Really, I like him regardless of. You just get some quirky stuff out there, and there are some things that I'm really looking forward to. And I guess that's sort of covered the basis of events. They did have a few stuff in and around that, the day of the devs. I would say, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, I have mentioned it a few times. I mentioned it on Twitter as well. The most exciting game for me over the last couple of weeks, this includes Sonic, Pokemon, everything that Microsoft proposed, that everything Sony started playing, was a Plucky Squire. Have either of you seen the trailer for Plucky Squire?
No.
No. Well, I'm not even joking now. If this was out this year, we're going into top 5 next to sort of run down the rest of the episode. If this was out this year, it's not.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. If this was out this year, this would be my most anticipated game, and it would have smashed through my top 5.
It does look very good. Like you're scrolling through the pages of a book.
Yeah. It's the right. It is a flawed game through and through, and I can't tell you how.
Does look good.
How good I think it looks, and it's not a AAA game.
No.
The style, it's got style. It looks like it's going to be really fun to play. It evokes Mario Odyssey, where you used to you'd add the 2D part to Mario Odyssey, or Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, where you became 2D.
On the wall.
Those type of things, on the wall. Like it evokes that type of thing. And also a bit of what was that game? Really big co-op game.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Yeah, a bit of It Takes Two as well. Again, when you're evoking games of that thing, but the whole trailer.
Yeah, I mean,
for me,
I've had the most fun. Like some of the games, most of the games I've played lately have all been sort of not AAA games.
Yeah, exactly. And so you just watched it, which is I don't know if you would agree with my sentiments with that.
No, I would play that.
Yeah.
Very much.
I'm watching it right now.
Callum's watching it now.
I would very much play it.
I would say, like, honestly, everything I saw, that was the best put together trailer of anything announced. Because everything else
Came out of the book.
Yeah, it came out of the book. Exactly. It came out of the book. There's just so much to it.
I'm in.
Everyone's in as well. So I'm shipping this game. Like, I am going to be talking about this game non-stop. I want to see more of it. I want to play it. I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. And like I said, it would have hit my top 5 if it was out this year. That's the only good things. It's not out this year, but you see a little bit of punch out in there as well. But like, it seems like it's got everything. If they can pull this together, if it can match the hype of the trailer, this might be. And I also love the music in it as well. And I think it's just going to be. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, enough of that. We're just going to segue into a sort of. I'll start. And I know, Caleb, you said you're not necessarily going to have a top 5. But
I've made a list.
Okay,
I've
good.
checked it twice.
Yeah, good
Gonna
try.
find out who's naughty or nice.
So we're going to transition into a top 5 favourite games this year, and then a top 5 most anticipated for this year. So we've tried to stick to games that are obviously with this year is banned, but that we think are coming this year, or that we know are coming this year for our most anticipated. So I'll start with we'll go through our top 5 this year first, and then we'll go to our top 5 most anticipated. So I'll start with my my top 5. I'll go down from 5 down to 1. So in the number 5, I had so much fun on Switch Sports that I was tempted to put Switch Sports in. When we played that with Double O, I was tempted to put Switch Sports in at number 5. If we'd have played more at that might have stuck in. However, I chose Kirby's Forgotten Land as number 5. I really enjoyed everything I played of that, and I just thought it was good fun from beginning to end. It was nice.
It looked like a good game.
Yeah, a nice take on Kirby. It was just a lot of fun. And after playing Elden Ring, it was a nice breath of fresh air. Not to breath Kirby. Yeah. You got that, yeah. And in at number 4, snuck in was Pokemon Arceus, and that might hide, but that I wouldn't expect to hit the top 5. I actually expect that to a few of these to drop off by the end of the year, because we will do like updates on these. Obviously, the more we play, and we will update our best games and our most anticipated. So if anything comes up, then we can obviously do that. Then at number 3 was Horizon Forbidden West. Really enjoyed that game. The story was great. The graphics were incredible, and it was good fun. A few annoyances. The constant self-monologue was downright annoying. But other than that, it was great fun. And we might talk in depth about the games in our podcasts. Number 2. Predominantly, it jumped up and jumped up. This was a game I didn't particularly enjoy to begin with, but enjoyed more and more and more, and then even more when I did some co-op with the man on my right. Yeah, Elden Ring, everybody's almost locked in number 1 game. Has hit my number 2 game. Really, really enjoyed the game. I haven't even completed it yet, because the damn blasted beast keeps getting me. I spent a whole stream trying to kill that damn thing, and the first time I took him on, I got him down to 0 health, and then didn't manage to finish off. Just 1 hit would have done it. Number 1 for me, Triangle Strategy, and I played that through and absolutely loved it. And I'm not even a strategy guy. I'm not big on strategy, but I just sort of fell in love with that game. The story, the characters, the combat, it was just a good introduction to that genre. And I picked it up, I completed it, and I almost went for it completely again, which I don't do almost never. So that's my top 5. We go Kirby Forgotten Land, Pokemon, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, and Triangle Strategy. We'll go to you next, Ridges.
Okay. I'd probably my number 5 would probably be the same as yours. Be Kirby Forgotten Land. Really enjoyed
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
It was a very good game. My number 4. Because I didn't write this down. My number 4 of this year. I'm trying to think what was out this year.
Richard, do you want to have a think? Because I've got mine written down. Do you want me to read
We'll
mine?
go next by Richard gets his.
Yeah, I'll let you have a bit of
Yeah.
time to think.
Well, I've got 4 of them.
Go on then. Go on.
So,
Don't have to put them in an order. It's fine.
so yeah, I would probably say for Kirby, and then no, I've got it because I have played a bit of it. Horizon Forbidden West would be my number 4, just because I haven't played much of it. Number 3 would be Tunic. Tunic was great. My number 2 would be Arceus, and actually my top game of the year so far is Elden Ring. Love it. Amazing game.
That is a hot take. I'm pretty sure no one else's favourite game of the year will be Elden Ring.
I loved it.
That is-
Absolutely loved it. But I spent
I mean, I only made my number 2.
150 hours in it, plus I just think you could spend hours on it just not even fighting a boss or progressing the storyline.
And I also think I put 150 hours, and I think I could put another 150 hours just trying to beat the damn final boss.
Yeah.
So,
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, I've had a nightmare here, I'll be honest with you boys. My top 5 includes 2 games which weren't out this year, but I played them this year, but then at the beginning, I can't choose those.
No,
So-
you can choose those. We'll allow those. We can update these lists as we go. We'll allow them because you played them. It's fine.
I
Absolutely
don't play many games, which is ridiculous because we're doing a podcast about games. But number 5 is Switch Sports. Really good fun, but not played enough of it. But it actually was better than I thought it was going to be. So I enjoyed that a lot.
Definitely good fun.
Number 4, purely because the amount I've played it so far, is Horizon Forbidden West, and that's just because I haven't got into it, and I feel like I need a prolonged period of time to sit down and just do that game.
Same for me.
And with the difficulty I have with streaming is that whatever I'm streaming takes priority, and then I don't really want to play a long-winded game. So, and I'll say it's annoyed me quite a lot. In the bits I've played, like I've rage quit a few times, not through dying or anything, just through being annoyed by the game. So that's my number 4. Then it gets 2021 I started this game in 2021 and I finished it this year, and that was It Takes Two. Absolutely loved that game, and I know it won Game of the Year for some people last year, but me and Laura really enjoyed playing that together. That was a great game.
Yeah, that's a fantastic game.
Another one coming in at number 2 is another one that was released in 2021, and that is Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Ooh, very good game.
I really loved that game. And once again, that was another one I finished in 2022. My favourite game is Arceus. I loved Arceus. From the small amount of Elden Ring I played, I didn't enjoy it, but I can appreciate it for what it is. But then it
didn't even crack the top 5, Callum.
It didn't even crack the top 5. But then number 0.5 would be the best game released in modern history, and that is Wordle.
Wordle, yes.
Hey,
Good
what a
fix
game.
up on Wordle. Do you know what? I played that religiously on my phone every single morning. It was a way to wake up my mind.
Yeah.
Because, but I was almost addicted to the 100%. I've got 100%. My stats. I was addicted to my stats. Don't have a new phone. I haven't played it since.
Oh no. It's all over.
Never touched it. Never touched
If I
it.
could transfer my stats, well, we just. I don't know if I recommend it highly, but
It's brilliant, Bridges.
No,
it's a good to wake your mind up. So
I'll take your word for it.
That's a good. I mean, we do have some of the same things in our top 5.
So seafood didn't make into your top 5 then?
It didn't, because I didn't play it enough. I did enjoy it, but I didn't play it enough for it to make my top 5.
I haven't
all the
played it
games
yet.
that I played, all the games in my top 5, I put over 20 hours in some, like Elden Ring, over 150 hours. So yeah, but again, we won't revisit this the next episode, but this will be something we can come back to time and time again. Okay, has your top 5 changed? What have you played? It's again with the excitement. So we'll transition into our most anticipated. This was mine were wrote before the before the Microsoft Bethesda, so that might change when we've got more dates. But for mine, number 5 is Pokemon Scarlet Violet. So I've put that at number 5. I like the Pokemon games. I enjoyed Arceus, but I am excited to play something like that with you guys, and that's why it's hit my list. And it's at number 5. Number 4, Bayonetta 3, which is currently slated for this year but hasn't got a release date. Loved Bayonetta 1, loved Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 3 looks great, and it's just an awesome, crazy time, and I'm sure it's going to be, hopefully of equal quality to the first 2. That hits number 4 on my list. Number 3 is a very niche, very old game that they're reviving. That I have never played, but I'm excited to play it, and it's Live Alive, or Live Alive, or Live Alive, or Live Alive, however you want to pronounce it. But it's a really unique sort of RPG, different genres in it. You go through different timelines. It looks really quirky, it looks really good. It's just piqued my interest. Everything I see of it, I'm like, yeah, 100% I want to play that. And it's a cult classic apparently, but I've never even heard of it until it was announced. So I'd never even heard of it. It was big in Japan apparently. I don't know. But that's hit number 3 purely for that. Number 2, Xenoblade 3 again. 1, 2, fantastic. Xenoblade 3 looks really good. The music looks great. Sounds great rather. And so I'm really looking for Xenoblade 3. I'm really, really excited for that. My brother bought it for my birthday, so I'm not even going to spend any money on it. So it's coming at the end of July. And the other one that hasn't got a release date that we are still expecting to be this year, because currently it's slated this year, God of War Ragnarok. God of War 2018 was a very highly polished, very well-told story.
It won't be this year.
It won't be this week. You heard it here first on the podcast. The rumour news is that it's been delayed out of September because Last of Us was shown. Last of Us. I did want to do some Last of Us takes, but we're running very long at the moment.
I think they have to release it because there's going to be nothing out for PlayStation. Yeah. They have to release something.
So the rumour is it's been moved out of September, which was the original plan, to November, but still this year. Everybody's still expecting this year. But Callum is saying not this year.
No, not this year.
Let's hope you're wrong. But that's it. So 5 Pokemon, 4 Bayonetta, 3 Live Alive, 2 Xenoblade 3, 1 God of War Ragnarok. And again, we will revisit these at a later point in time and see if ours have changed. So Richard, if you want to give us the lowdown and give us a quick explanation as to what you're thinking.
Well, the first of mine is out next Friday, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Revenge of Shredder.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
That's my number 5. My number 4.
Richard, you got to do your homework.
No, I haven't really placed them as sort of. I think I've got like the list of them. I'm trying to place them. It's probably Midnight Suns. Marvel's Midnight Suns is my number 4. I love Marvel. I loved all the Ultimate Alliance. It looks very Ultimate Alliance-y.
I thought Midnight Suns, isn't that strategy?
They look more. I mean, they have done it. I haven't watched the new update yet. But maybe that'll change by the next time because I'll watch the trailer after this. Because I know they released it, but I just haven't caught up yet.
I released the trailer, but it didn't really show the gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, so there's that, and then number 3. I'm not. What am I going to do number 3? I could do. What's my number 3? Probably Sonic Origins. I love Sonic just because I want to play it.
Wow.
Not Sonic Frontiers. Let's just let's just get that out of the way. Not Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Origins, the actual.
Yeah, no. I like Sonic. I'll play it. I'm looking forward to it. It looks different. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is the stupid price thing they've released.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I don't understand it. It's not something I'm really happy with at all. I just think I just don't understand. Just release everything. Just don't be stupid.
It's bizarre. But...
Yeah, no, it's very bizarre. And then don't be stupid. I just
Get that
don't.
on a t-shirt.
You cannot. There is not a single one where you can get everything that's on offer. You have to and then it's just honestly, if you look at what the price structure is, it's just stupid. And then 2 is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
That's controversial. I thought that was going to be number 1.
No. My number 1 is Ragnarok. I love God of War. Love the whole genre.
Up 2 for God of War Ragnarok.
I love the game. I love them all. I've played every one from all the even the PS. I bought a PSP just to play the other ones. Love the game. Love the franchise. And then when I took a week off when the latest one came out and played it all week, it was phenomenal. I could not put it down. I've not completely finished it. I was doing all the Valkyries. I got to the last Valkyrie. It's a bit past my skills, but love the game. Looking forward to the story as it continues. What's going to happen in it? Yeah, so that is my.
That's a good
top
list.
5.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
I think Shredder's Revenge. Definitely.
I love Turtles. I love all the Turtle games, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Next week is going to be great. It's actually coming out on Callum's birthday.
It's free on Game Pass as well.
Free on Game Pass, which hopefully he'll get an Xbox Series S with Game Pass on his birthday. Fingers crossed. Noah, if you're watching, get that wrapped up right now. So Callum, why don't you give us your 5?
I'm ready. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do it at the end. I'm going to say what I was going to say at the end. Right, I'm going to be honest with you. Not a lot. So I just quickly Googled what's coming out this year to fill out my list. Yeah, exactly. Wordle 2. So coming in at number 5 is Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Oh yes,
because I love Lord of the Rings and I quite like Gollum, so that's my only reasoning. Number 4 is Digimon Survive, just because I'm intrigued. It might be rubbish, but I'm intrigued by it. Can you tell they were the 2 I just added? Number 3 is Forspoken. Despite the fact we've seen very little of it, I am intrigued by that game. It looks cool.
I think it's going to be delayed.
I think it's going to be delayed, but currently it is a legitimate choice because, and I'll tell you why it didn't hit mine, because when I saw gameplay of it, I was less interested, kind of like the Starfield. But it's a good choice. It could be really good. I hope it is.
I think it looks beautiful, and the Unreal Engine runs it really well. But my only question mark is, what is it? What is the story? So I need to learn more.
I feel. Look, when I got my first impressions of it was a more realistic Kenner.
There's probably parallels there, isn't there? Number 2 for me is Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan.
Has that been delayed? No.
No. It's still slated for this year. So.
Oh, that would have been in mind actually then, if it was. So. I thought it was delayed till 2023. So.
I always edit in, which is when we do. So
I mean, I think Hogwarts Legacy looks really cool. I think it looks like a really cool game. I'm a Harry Potter fan anyway, so something along those lines. But I don't want a Harry Potter game. I want a game within the Harry Potter world.
You had a Harry Potter themed wedding.
I did. So it's I don't know. I think for me, that game looks really interesting. I'm in. I don't know. I don't. Once again, I don't really know what it's going to be. So from what I've seen of it, but yeah, I'm excited about that game. I will buy that. My first one, we've already talked about it already, is Pokemon. I'm really looking forward to that game. You'll notice that God of War wasn't on that list, and that's because I don't like God of War. So I tried the 2018 game 3 times. I tried it 3 times. I started from the start, and I just don't like it. Laura, it's one of Laura's favourite games of all time, but it just never did anything for me.
It was for me. It was more of a slow burner, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just really struggled to get into it, and I believe. Another hot take. It won't come out this year, and when it does come out, it won't be as good as the first one, so it'll be a disappointment. I think the first one, everyone's bar is like, oh my god, it's the best game ever. It won't be the best game ever. It'll be a good game. I think it'll be a really good game, but I don't think it'll be the best game ever.
I just think this is a topic that we probably will discuss in a future episode. How do you top a game so
absolutely?
And we could add this discussion with Breath of the Wild as well. Breath of the Wild 2. How could you possibly top one of the most loved games ever? That will be, obviously, we're not going to go into that because we'll be going on forever.
My tip would be, don't change too much of it. Just add a different story.
Yeah, but then people will go, well, there's not a lot changed. So
why do you need to change if it's not broke? Don't fix it.
That's it. No, so what would end up happening there is you'd say,
like
still
Pokemon.
a fantastic game.
Like
exactly.
Pokemon.
But then I think the discussion would be, it's still a fantastic game, but it's doesn't have the same impact. And everybody will say the impact is key. But this will be a future discussion, so if you're tuning in, like, subscribe and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Comment underneath.
Ring the bell. Ding ding ding.
Ring the bell, ding ding ding. 16-bit Rivals first episode. We are winding down. So basically, where can we find them? Basically, you guys have got YouTube channels already, and you've got Twitter handles. Anything you want to throw at us now, just so that people can find you. Callum, we'll start with you.
I don't want them to find me in my house. However, on social media, you can find me on YCallum on Twitch, YCallum on YouTube, and YCallumY because I haven't got YCallum on Twitter. So annoying. Yes, that's me.
That's it. Ridges, we'll go to you next.
On the old Twitch, I am Ridges, RIDGERS. On Twitter, unfortunately, if you search Ridges, you'll find my personal. I am Ridges Gaming, or Gaming Ridges, one of them.
Gaming Ridges.
Gaming Ridges.
Gaming Ridges. And then on YouTube, because although apparently there is no other Ridges, because there is only me, I am the Ridges. It's always taken everywhere. Always taken everywhere. And on YouTube, I am /RidgesTube.
RidgesTube. Okay, there you go. So that's how you can find it. Myself, I'm still very new to pretty much everything, but you can find me Flawed Gamer on Twitch and Flawed Gamer on Twitter. And then obviously the 16-bit Rivals YouTube channel will be all of us, which will be hopefully done very soon.
We should make a Twitter as well, shouldn't we? We should do the lot now.
Eventually we could do that. We could do even a Twitch account where it's us three.
We're going to be huge.
Yeah, we're going to be. It's going to blow up. It's going to be absolutely huge. But yeah, Flawed Gamer Twitter, Flawed Gamer on Flawed spelled wrong, FLOORED, or spelled correctly, however you want to do it.
Yeah, not the FLAWE.
Can we do something before we sign off? Can we do a code word? So we say a word. We decide on a word now, and if people are still watching at this point, they have to put it in the comments.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
To sort of have like an accolade of they know, so they.
As if they say they've got to the end, they haven't just clicked on the video and just.
What about the code word is E3 because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. E3 is the code. whack E3 in the comments if you
Yeah.
watched the whole thing. I hope you did. I don't know how
You're
long
so
you've been
bad.
running. I don't know how long you've been running, but we will maybe have yeah, E3. We will have guests on. I'm hoping
Something
to
like
get
that.
guests on to discuss it. We have been fortunate to meet some good people through the
Yeah.
Twitchiverse.
Very much so.
And even if they're not in the Twitchverse as well, I've got a couple of people who might want to jump into a podcast and discuss some games. So this is your main free E3. Exciting, engaging.
Callum can't do it.
I can't even think of a third E word. Engaging, exciting,
Enthralling.
enthralling, exactly. Your free gaming videos, why Callum? You're going to have to tell me videos as well when we've stopped recording because you're in control. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, everyone. We will
Thank
be
you.
making this regular, and hopefully you can look forward to more topics, discussions, and extra stuff
Yeah.
from us. And come find us, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.